every single day. So carpe diem is what I really live by every single day. And I propel a lot of my students to do the same. So before we touch upon this topic, acing the psychometric testing, let me just give you a little brief about, before we go into actually dive into the subject of, how to ace the psychometric test. First of all, let me explain you what is a psychometric test. So I'm going to be sharing my PowerPoint presentation with you.
Okay.
All right. So what a psychometric test is a combination of two words, psychos and metrics, which means measurement of mental states. Now you have to understand this, that when we're talking about the mental states, we are not saying that, you have a mental issue. Please, differentiate between the two things. Psychometric test is an objective way to measure the mental ability, your aptitude, or your personality. Now, there are a lot of psychometric tests in the market today. And there are, and even as a psychometrician, I know this for sure that, I cannot ace all of them. I cannot be a master at all of them. So what are the market, used tools? I'm going to be sharing those with you. What a psychometric test does, it is a process to measure a candidate's strengths and weakness. It measures a range of skills from cognitive abilities, how you learn, how you grasp your subject, how you connect the dots, what are your strengths at understanding the subject. Some people, have a ability to understand the word that is written on the book very easily, whereas others want some diagrams. So those are known as cognitive abilities in a nutshell. These are used as a part of the recruitment or selection process because they give employers a method of selecting most suitable job applicants or candidates for promotion. We even use these psychometrics at our workplace. Even after 10 years of work experience, we sometimes ask our employees to go through the psychometric test. And it's a beautiful thing that it has been used by 80% of the Fortune 500 and 75% of the Times top 100 companies. What psychometric tests really measure? Number one, how well you work with your other people, how well you handle stress, whether you will be able to cope up with the intellectual job that is there in your organization, your personality, your preferences, your abilities. My dear friends, these tests do not, please understand, they do not analyze your emotional or psychological stability. Please keep this in mind. We are not here to test your emotional stability. With the pandemic, I reinforce on this point again and again, since most of the students are studying through home. So it becomes very difficult for students to maintain a stable mindset. But psychometrics, understand this, they do not analyze your emotional or psychological stability. They are only a best match of individual to the profession that you have applied for, to the job that you apply for. So again, I would like to reinforce, it measures your behavioral style. It measures your opinions, your motivators. Now, I'll give you a small exercise right now, all of you. How many of you are right-handed in the group? Right-handed? So take a paper and take a pen and sign your name on a piece of paper with your right hand. Done? Okay. Now switch your pen to the other hand and try to sign with this side of the pen, with your left hand. Is it easy to sign? Perhaps for some who are ambiverts. Ambiverts are people who use both their hands. But those of you who have never used your left hand, which is a non-dominant hand, it is a challenge to sign. And suppose if somebody tells you to keep signing or writing with your non-dominant hand, I'm sure it is quite a task and you might feel fatigued. Similarly, if you fake to be somebody who you are not at a workplace, do you think it will be easy for you to wear a mask day after day, day after day, day after day, trying to impress people? I'm sure it will be difficult. So when a psychometric test is done, this is what it tries to measure: your dominant style of work. It measures your personal attributes such as your temperament, your career interests, your value systems. So psychometrics can be, likened to a mini lab. We just put you onto a test, we scan you. Like, you when you go for a X-ray, what it does, suppose if you get hurt here on the elbow, they don't say that, just the elbow has to be scanned. They scan your entire hand, isn't it? So psychometrics also analyzes a lot of things. They give you an indicator as to why you have a conflict, why the communication channels are crossing, why there is a change of, behavior. Remember this, personality changes very, very slowly. It is a stable faculty for a very long period of time. But because preference is innate is something that you're born with, something that you're conditioned yourself with. And all of us have our own conditioning. Right from the time we were born, the influences that we have from a social circle, we have our parents who influence us, our peers, our teachers, our school, our environment. So we grew up with certain preferences. That is why preferences is innate, but behavior is situational. For example, I like to talk a lot. Okay. And if you go on my LinkedIn, you'll actually see that I am a ENFP and I have an Enneagram level of 2. So I'm one of those who likes to interact with a lot of people. And ENFPs are said to have not a structured way towards life. But right now, when I'm at my workplace, I cannot be all over the place. I cannot be unorganized. I need to maintain structure. I need to maintain certain decorum. So that is role behavior dominant. That is why it is said that behavior is situational. You are who you are in that particular situation. Like they say, in Rome, do as the Romans do, isn't it? So preference is innate, behavior is situational. Psychometric test is actually an indicator to only and only your innate preferences. Remember this, all abilities can be worked on. So there was this question that came in that, do we have to, work on the abilities? I don't remember the exact word, but I'm sure that it had to, they spoke something about the skills and the abilities. So right now, at this point of time, I'd like to say this, that your preferences are innate, but you have the ability to work on your abilities and your skill sets. All right, so let's go ahead a little further. What are the types of psychometric tests that you have, since some of them are not aware of what psychometric tests are? There are two types of tests. One is a personality and an interest test, and I'm a certified MBTI. So I do most of the personality and interest tests, and idea really is to help you understand what are your weaknesses, what are your strengths, what are your belief systems that have, because of which you have developed these strengths, and how you can meander through the blind spots. I don't know if you know what is a blind spot, but those of you who have ever driven a car, you would understand that on a highway, we're not talking about the choco block roads where you have bumper to bumper driving. I'm talking of a highway. On a highway, you need to keep watch on your blind spots, because car can come can come at a speed. So you need to understand how to navigate your road. Similarly, in a personality, we have something known as blind spots that we don't know. A personality test or an interest test actually can open up new vistas for you to understand what are your blind spots, where you can work, and you'll actually be amazed with so many things that will evolve out of that test. The second kind of a test is the aptitude or the ability test, which most of you have been going through since your school time. Now, what these tests are used for is, number one, like I already said, they're used for selection and recruitment. They're also used for your career progression. And this is a very interesting thing, the career progression. And I'd like to spend a couple of minutes explaining you about why these tests help you in your career progression. Like Sadaf gave you a brief of my serendipity in career options. I was an educator, in fact, a French educator. And there is a story to every profession that I had. Maybe some other time I'd like to share those stories, but for the moment, I have a degree in science background. I actually have a chemistry honors, but I went on to doing my B.Ed. I even have a master's in English literature. Now, these are all different, career choices that I made, the stream choices rather. But every time I saw that what I was really good with was talking to people. Communications was my forte. And that is why I have always maintained that the hallmark of a good professional is authentic communication. It doesn't matter what title you have, what profession you hold. What really matters at the end of the day is authentic communication and integrity towards your own work. And from there on, so many careers will evolve. Today, you might start off as a marketing person. Tomorrow, you might go into a digital marketing. Some other day, you might have your own startup. You may have your, build up your work as an entrepreneur. So psychometrics actually is a sneak peek into how you can meander, how you can progress in your career as also. Now, what a prerequisite of a psychometric, of a good testing should be, because there are a lot of questions that are around the psychometric test. The objective is the score should not be affected by a tester's belief or value systems. Students and my dear friends, you have to understand that we all come with different mindsets. We have come from everybody comes from a different environment, from a different conditioning, right? So we are not here. The test is not here to, test on your beliefs and values. That is why these are standardized tests. The objective of the test is that every test should be reliable, it should be predictive, and it should be non-discriminatory. Idea really is this, because there is so much diversity in the world, and these tests are, administered globally. So we want to have a forum where these tests are non-discriminatory. Just to break a little ice here, since all of you are management students, you will be out there very soon in your workforce. There is a book, I don't know how many of you all have read it, but if you've not read it, I would implore you to read this book by the Chinese military general Sun Tzu. It's The Art of War. And some of you who have read it, for you would be able to endorse to my quotes that I've picked up for you this morning. Strategy without tactics is the slowest route to victory. And tactics without strategy is the noise before defeat. Opportunity multiplies as they are seized. Like I said even in the beginning, carpe diem. And third is, know yourself and you'll win all battles. An idea of holding this session today is to help you understand your own self a little more. I don't know how much you'll be able to gather at the end of the session, but I would like you to take back these 3 takeaways. Very important. You can even take a screenshot of it if you'd like to, because this is something that I've spoken to with all my students around the world. Like I said, Sadaf said that I've trained more than 10,000 graduates. And I've always said these 3 tactics are most important, 3 strategies. Opportunity multiply as they are seized. Go on, or, seize the day, seize the moment, seize every moment, every feeling, every thought. Write it down. And it's very important that you know yourself and you'll be able to win all battles. I say this with a lot of conviction because over the past 2.5 decades, working into different work areas, having different titles, being a psychometrician, being a HR consultant, and now a relationship coach, I've really understood this, that when I understand who I am, I'll be able to understand others better. I'll be able to have more understanding towards their blind spots as well. There are a couple of tests that are in the market and they're used by employers a lot. One is the 5 factors model. I'm going to tell a little bit about each of these tests as we go ahead. The second is the FIRO-B. Third is MBTI, like I am a certified MBTI psychometrician. You have DISC, you have 16 PF. Some of you might have taken up some of these tests online also, because I'm told that a lot of students like to take this only, as a means to have some fun and understand their own self. The next one is the Harrison and the